Hello everyone and welcome to this video, which is in our Engine Snack series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and we're taking a look at a great bit of defence by Stockfish against Komodo Dragon, TCEC Season 22 SuperFinal Game 14. So this was one of my disaster openings. I really expected Black to win both of these, but in the Sufi, well, Stockfish against Komodo, both games ended in a draw, which was very surprising. The basis of the opening was this position, and then forcing the engines to play the very natural looking but also very serious mistake, castle queenside. It's always a mistake for white to castle queenside before the central tension has been resolved here. Because Black has the opportunity to play c4, closing the centre and then preparing a quick b5 to b4. b5 even as a pawn sacrifice. If you open the b file, then Black just lines up on the b file and attacks b2. And, well, it's just supposed to be horrible for Black. And one of my GM colleagues tweeted, you know, don't the engines know that this is horrible for white? Well, they do, but if they're forced to play it by me, then there's not much they can do about it. Well, we reached this position in the game Stockfish against Komodo. And here Stockfish played an amazing idea, which was to play the move b4. Why is this an amazing idea? Well, what we always say is that on the side where you're worse, especially if you're being attacked, avoid moving any kingside pawns. Simply because you know, you've got to try and make the opponent reach for openings, and if you start moving your pawns towards the opponent, that makes it easier for the opponent to achieve, you know, opening of the lines. So b4 is a really strange move. I mean, it you know, quite apart from putting the queen into what looks like a little bit of trouble, it's also giving Black the opportunity just to take on b3 and then play b4. The one thing that White's got going for it in this position, though, is that before White played b4, this bishop was you know, very passive, really couldn't help in the defence of White's king. After you played b4, then yeah, Black gains the opportunity to open up the position, of course, but we've got, you know, ideas like bishop d3 to c2, and somehow, you know, this extra freedom that White gets, and well, the possibilities that White has to interfere with Black's position, with its queen in particular, you know, that just seems to be enough really to hold the position. Very difficult to understand and to be sure about, and you know, this is really an engine level thing, but very interesting to see, you know, general rules being broken there. So a takes b4, knight b4, rook d2, just covering everything, also allowing the king just to run to the side there. a5 played, bishop e2, queen f7, king b2, the king actually moving towards the danger zone, but protecting the knight on c3, protecting the pawn on b3, and the rook now can come over and give some extra support. So, I mean, this is still very difficult for White. Lots of tactics in the air, you know, rook c3s, knight e4s. But the fact that this queen is here, I mean, it's in danger. It can get attacked by the black rooks, but it's also, you know, also restricting the black rooks. For example, rook a8 allows queen takes b4. So knight c6, queen c5, you know, these incredibly bold engine moves, putting the queen opposite the rook and not caring. Knight e7, queen a7, and yeah, rook a8, queen b7, rook b8, queen c7. Knight f5 takes, and now rook a1, just using the attack of the queen on the rook on b8 to exchange off a pair of rooks, and yeah, basically, you know, White survived in the end, whereas you know, you really wouldn't have expected White to do that. The amazing thing as well was that in the sub-fi, so the match between Komodo and Leela, Komodo also chose the same defence. Here Leela played e takes f5, but after takes, king b2, queen f7, rook e1, queen g7, queen a5. I'm not even sure you could say that White was worse at all. It actually looks quite decent for White there. So yeah, amazing example of breaking a general human rule, b4, moving the pawns in front of your king during an attack, but in order to get freedom for your pieces. And this is a very typical engine thing, the idea of a queen in a very dangerous position, but also interfering with the opponent's attack. Yeah, need to be pretty good to make sure you're not getting trapped, but if it works, it can really slow down the opponent's attack.